Hey guys, how are you? David Franco here from GearPop.com. It has been literally over 1 year since I have given you an in-depth tour of my iPhone and how I use it on a daily basis. So that's the point of today's video. And I'm getting 4 square notifications at the top. Alright, so jumping into the tour, the top row is pretty self-explanatory, but I'll tell you anyway. We have phone, calendar, photos, and camera. Now let's open photos and see my last photo that I was looking at. Would you look at that? What a beautiful horse. And I'm still getting notifications. And look at that. What a beautiful face, right? That is the person you're watching now. You should be proud of yourself, guys. Alright, anyway, seriously, the second row, weather, music, iTunes Store, App Store. Nothing really that mind-blowing or amazing, but still, I use them almost on a daily basis. Next up is Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Pandora. Now let's open up Facebook. And you can see my profile over at facebook.com/DavidFranco. And if we go into my profile, I'm doing this wrong. There you go. You can see my newest update is indeed my first impressions video of the iPad Air. So going back into the home screen, we have music. I do have 2 stations right now because I was playing around with iTunes Radio. Over the Rainbow, which I love that song, but that was by the Piano Guys. Amazing, check it out. And finally, Zomboy. Why did I say finally? It's only really 2 things I'm talking about in terms of iTunes Radio, but you get the point. Next up is Instagram. Check out instagram.com/DavidFranco. I am constantly uploading videos and now photos of tech-related items such as this. This is a quick video I did on my LED lighting kit, which is now under my desk. Yes, I have moved my lighting kit under my desk. Gotta admit, it's pretty sweet. Kind of a creepy shot of me, but you get the idea. Now let's talk about Pandora. Guys, I love Pandora. Seriously, I use it every single day, at least when I drive in my car. And there's a good old Star Wars theme. You can never go wrong with that. Now, you might be wondering, why am I going in depth with these apps and not these up here? Well, these are Apple's apps, and I figured you don't really care about them as much. So I figured I'd show you how I use these, the third-party apps, on a somewhat regular basis. And plus, as you can see, I only have one home screen because I like to keep things very simple. So I figured I'd make this video a little more interesting than it should be. Next up is the Flickster app. I love this app because I am definitely a movie buff. I mean, I'm no movie expert, but I do appreciate the crap out of movies. I'm always watching movies, new and old, on Netflix all the time. And my newest movie was Flight, which is great, starring Denzel Washington. And right there, it got excellent reviews, I believe. Yep, a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is not bad at all, so definitely check that out. Next up is PayPal. I'm not going to open that for privacy concerns, but still, that's pretty self-explanatory. You should all know what PayPal is. Foursquare, I love Foursquare. This is what powers my Wawa obsession, and obviously you guys are always seeing my check-ins at Wawa, so if you are not following me on Foursquare already, feel free to do so. The next app is called Alarm.com. This allows me to arm my house security system. So if I do this, arm stay, you should hear a beep pretty soon after. I'll exit that while it's doing its thing. The next up is my Apple Apps folder. We have Notes, Calculator, Find My Friends, Find My iPhone. And there it is. That beep you heard in the background is indeed my Alarm.com app. Let it update my status and it should say armed stay. It's not the fastest app, but it does work. Alright, you know what? It's usually faster than this. Figures, when you put something on video, it goes a little slower than usual. Regardless, we can disarm it because I am home and I don't want to be setting my alarm off. Anyway, back into the Apple Apps folder. Where did I leave off? Voice memos, videos, podcasts, FaceTime, maps, compass, reminders, Game Center, stocks, passbook, newsstand, contacts, iBooks, and clock. Now, just because all of these are in one folder, that doesn't mean I don't use them. I actually use Notes on a somewhat regular basis when I work with my dad and we got to take notes on the job site. Calculator is self-explanatory. Find My Friends, I do use now and then. Find My iPhone, that's rare. Voice memos, not really. Videos, not really. Podcasts, not really, because I listen to my podcast on my Mac for the most part. FaceTime, I do use now and then. Maps, same thing now and then. Compass, whatever. Reminders, now and then, yes. Game Center, not really. Stocks, not really. Passbook, not really. Newsstand, not really. Contacts, yes, of course. iBooks, on a rare occasion, and clock, yes, all the time for alarms. Now, I gotta say, it is great being able to put all of these apps in one single folder, and that's something I really, really like about iOS 7. Now, onto my next folder. I simply call it Points because these are based on two apps called Future Points and App Bounty. But for this video's purpose, I'm just going to talk about Future Points. Guys, definitely check this out. As you can see, I am very close to 300,000 points, which is just enough for a $500 Amazon gift card, which, yes, in other words, I will be using, hopefully at least, be using for my Xbox One purchase. So if you sign up using the link right below, as well as my sign-up code, the Franco, DIFRANCO, that means we can share points along the way, and it's win-win for everyone. So definitely check it out. You simply got to download apps, sign up, and you get points towards things like iTunes gift cards, PayPal gift cards, and more stuff like that. Now, App Bounty is kind of similar, but honestly, just go for Future Points. It's the better service overall. Alright, let's talk about WordPress. I do have this installed purely just to manage my site over at gearpop.com. So for instance, I can keep an eye on all the posts that my authors publish. For instance, this one about Super Mario 3D World, The Rise of the Wii U. I can go in here, view the post format, status, and kind of change things, to the way I want them to be. But it's obviously fine the way it is, so I'm just going to keep it the way it is. But that is a great app to manage GearPop. Next up is Settings. I don't really need to talk about this too much. It's pretty self-explanatory. Settings is settings. And now down here in my primary dock, we have Mail, which I will not open because I don't want to unveil people's names just in case. Messages, Safari, which I believe I had GearPop open. Yes, I admit I opened that for the purpose of this site. But hey, do you blame me? GearPop.com. Check it out. And finally, last but certainly not least, we have Tweetbot, which was recently updated for iOS 7. This is definitely, hands down, my preferred Twitter client above everything else out there. Guys, seriously, it is just that good. So definitely check it out. I believe it's $3 in the App Store. Easily worth it if you ask me. And well, that's it. A tour of my iPhone 5S. Let me know if you guys have any questions. And of course, as always, let me know if you have any apps that you think I should install on here. But again, as you can see, I'm very limited on my app usage. Limited, obviously, by my own choice because I used to be obsessed with apps. I mean, I still appreciate apps, obviously. But I just try to be a lot more organized nowadays than I was back in 2008, 9, and above. Alright guys, now I'm done. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your continued support. And don't forget, check out Future Points. I greatly appreciate it. And I will see you in my next video.